This video is sponsored by Keeps. Larry Fitzgerald has been punishing defenses for over 15 years as a member of the Arizona Cardinals. Through the course of his 16-year career, Dude has led the Cardinals in receptions every season with the exception of one. But with that said, his run as the top reception guy may actually be coming to a close this year with the addition of a current wide receiver one who's still in his prime. And with those two, a dynamic quarterback and several other key pieces, the Cardinals should be a very exciting team to watch this upcoming season. It's crazy how things come full circle. The whole reason I'm making this video today is because this is not the first time Larry Fitzgerald has teamed up with a physical, blue-collar, savage, beastly receiver as a running mate. Today we're going to take a look back at Fitzgerald's first running mate, Anquan Boldin, one of the most widely respected players to ever put the pads on. This is probably the first receiver that I remember watching and being excited when they ran the ball behind him, like just running to his side, you know what I'm saying? Watching this dude block, Cash used to be getting manhandled, bro, and I loved it. Today we're gonna take a look back at the football career of the man known as Q. This is what happened to Anquan Boldin. Q the Wayne. Yo, real quick before we jump into the video, I gotta give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, Keeps. The numbers say 2 out of 3 guys will experience some type of male pattern baldness by the age of 35. And the best way to address the problem of hair loss is the best way to address any problem. Get out in front of it. You want to get this going while you still got hair on your head to save, if you see what I'm saying. And Keeps does a great job of making it affordable so you can not go bald, but also not go broke. There's only 2 FDA approved products to actually help prevent hair loss, and Keeps offers versions of both of them. And I love what they've done because they've revolutionized the way men are treated for hair loss. So basically every 3 months they deliver it right to your door, so you ain't standing in long lines at the pharmacy, you ain't spending all day at the doctor's office. They make it convenient for you so you can save your hair and save some damn time, you feel me? Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm trying to hold on to the locks even after they turn gray. I want them gray, long. I'm probably gonna still have a taper, going hard. They're gonna be hanging past the frame of the camera and everything, you feel me? Like I said at the beginning, the key is prevention. It can take up to 4 to 6 months to start seeing results from this, so you want to start immediately. So if you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, all you gotta do, visit keeps.com/FlemLo, or you could just click the link in the description and that's gonna save you 50% off your first order. Yeah, half off, bro. Again, that's keeps.com/FlemLo, or you can just click the link in the description. Shout out to Keeps once again for sponsoring the video. Without further ado, let's get it. Anquan Boldin grew up in Florida in a town called Pahokee. This town has actually been referred to by some as the worst town in Florida. The people from there refer to it as Mug City, and they say the only way you make it out of there, you gotta be tough as nails. This actually explains a whole lot about Anquan's approach to football. Him and his partners from Mug City didn't have Pop Warner growing up, so they pretty much created their own unofficial version. They used to ride their bikes around and play the kids from opposing neighborhoods. And this stuff was serious. These cats took a ton of pride in this, so you already know cats was getting laid out, bro. This actually served Anquan Boldin well because by the time he got to high school, honestly, it was kind of easy for him. He wasn't intimidated. He had no fear. He'd already been getting tackled on the damn concrete. This was easy. Anquan was a star from day one and recalled signing autographs as a damn freshman. They already knew they were witnessing a star in the making. Anquan actually played quarterback in high school, and let the people from Pahokee tell it, that was actually the best version of Anquan Boldin. The NFL cat was cool, but the high school version was really where the legend began, I guess. By the time he was a senior, Anquan led his squad to a 10-0 record and was named Florida Player of the Year. To show you how cold this cat was, he would later be named to the All-Century team. Okay, so that was the 33 best high school football players from Florida through a 100-year span. So over 100 years, they narrowed it down to 33 players and he made that list. That's crazy, bro. Anquan received multiple big-time scholarship offers, but decided to attend Florida State. Like a lot of athletic quarterbacks, for better or for worse, dude was moved to wide receiver. I'm pretty sure Anquan wasn't tripping. Dude was just happy to get out the muck. His freshman year wasn't too noteworthy, but in his second college season, after only 1 year of playing a brand new position, Anquan caught 41 passes for 664 yards and 6 TDs, a season he hoped to build on going into his junior year. Unfortunately, things took a turn for the worse, and Anquan ended up tearing his ACL during spring practice. He missed the entire season. So the new step he was planning on taking was postponed, but not canceled. In 2002, when Anquan made it back, he picked up right where he left off and actually had his best collegiate season. 65 grabs, over 1,000 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Dude went crazy. And while he definitely should have had another year of eligibility after missing his entire junior season with that injury, he did the smart thing, took his ass to the league. The scouts love this film. Big, physical, blue-collar wide receiver, and this was during the days of like T.O. and Moss and my dog Chad. So the fact that Anquan was considered super coachable, you know, it was a big boost to his draft stock. However, once he ran that 4.71, as coachable as he was, all of a sudden now nobody wants to coach him. That's how I go. In 2003, the Cardinals actually had 2 first-round picks. Obviously, they used one on their new wide receiver. A little bit less obvious, that new receiver was not Anquan Boldin. It was actually Penn State's Brian Johnson. With their second first-round pick, they drafted Calvin Pace, an edge rusher out of Wake Forest. Due in large part to a terrible combine performance, Anquan slipped to the second round, and the Cardinals were surprised dude was still on the board. The value was definitely there, so they decided to take a chance. Still, some experts didn't know if Anquan would be able to separate on the NFL level. Honestly, a valid concern, considering the fact that Anquan and that edge rusher the Cards drafted in the first round both ran in the 4.7s. Here's the thing though, despite the fact that he had one of the slowest 40 times of any receiver, he turned around and was the fastest player ever to record 300 receptions in his NFL career. Faster than Moss, faster than T.O., faster than Rice, faster than everybody. That was until this dude came along. It only took Anquan 47 games, but it only took OBJ 45. Regardless, the record stood for 14 years, and Odell ended up breaking it the exact same year Anquan retired from the NFL. In his first NFL game ever, dude set an NFL record for the most receiving yards by a rookie. Bro, this man really went off the very first time he stepped on the NFL field. 10 catches, 217 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I actually remember watching this game, sitting on the couch with my dad, and just being in absolute awe of what this man was doing, because his physicality really just jumped off the screen. When this dude was blocking, he was trying to knock cats out, man. And I just love this so much, because a lot of times you see linebackers and these different players try to bully receivers, but Anquan was the bully. You know what I'm saying? He turned the whole thing around. He finished his rookie season with over 100 receptions, nearly 1,400 yards, and 8 touchdowns, bro. Dude won Rookie of the Year and made the damn Pro Bowl all in year 1. The Cardinals had to be ecstatic. They had just hit the jackpot. So you know what they did? They turned right around the very next year and drafted another receiver. In comes Larry Fitzgerald out of Pitt. We talking the Biletnikoff winner, the Walter Camp winner, and the Heisman Trophy runner-up. The Cardinals took him in the first round, 3rd overall, and a less mature receiver may have handled this poorly if they were put in Anquan's shoes. I mean, he had literally just burst onto the scene, breaking records and all type of stuff, and now he wasn't even going to be the #1 receiver on his own team anymore. But one of the main reasons Anquan is so widely respected is because while he can put up crazy numbers, it was never about the numbers. Dude always wanted to win, so he was happy as hell they brought Larry Fitzgerald in. And even though he was only a second-year player himself, he took Larry Fitzgerald under his wing, and Larry has said every single time he's ever had a chance to say, Anquan Boldin is basically the big brother that he never had. And they really had a brother relationship. Like, Anquan would have Larry over the house, Anquan's wife would cook, you know, they'd eat, break bread. It's really a beautiful thing when you think about it, you know? And I think that's the reason anytime I see somebody bring up Anquan Boldin around Larry Fitzgerald, even though Larry is at this point, clearly the better receiver. He's the more talented receiver and the more accomplished receiver. You know, from a statistical standpoint, he always defers to Anquan Boldin, and I just think that's a cool dynamic, you know? On the field, the two meshed great. Two complete wide receivers who can do any and everything, and they pretty much did. Check this out, bro. In 2005, both of these cats went crazy, right? Larry led the team in receptions with 103 catches. Anquan was literally right behind him with 102. Larry also led the team in receiving yards that year, 1,409 yards. He went off. Anquan, 1,402 yards. Dudes was basically playing Madden out there. The following year, 2006, would be the only year since being drafted that Larry Fitzgerald did not lead the team in receptions. That's that one little year I alluded to in the intro, and at this point, I don't even have to say who ended up leading. Y'all already know the answer. A couple years later in 2008, the Cardinals actually managed to put it all together. Anquan and Fitz were on top of their game, and a 37-year-old Kurt Warner found the fountain of youth for Rayshad Gould's Lazarus Pit or something, because dude was balling out. The Cardinals actually had 3 receivers go over 1,000 yards that year, the 2 obvious ones, and a forgotten cat out of Michigan, Steve Breaston. And shout out to Steve Breaston. That 08 season was definitely not without its challenges, as Anquan literally broke his damn face versus the Jets in week 4. 4 days later, dude had surgery for a fractured sinus membrane, which required 7 plates and 40 screws in his face. But somehow, miraculously, the Muck City native only missed 2 games. They ended up finishing the season 9-7, giving them their first winning record in 10 years. Then they did the unthinkable and parlayed a record barely better than 500 into a Super Bowl appearance. Anquan Boldin made 8 catches for 84 yards in his Super Bowl debut, but it wasn't enough as the Cardinals lost to the Steelers, and a lot of y'all probably remember this catch, but unlike Santonio, Anquan went home empty-handed. Being a second-round pick, Anquan had far outperformed his current contract, and he was looking to get a new deal, hoping to get something a little bit closer to what Larry Fitzgerald was making. But the Cardinals made the decision to not pay both receivers, and in 2010, they traded Anquan to the Baltimore Ravens. The dude was perfect for the Ravens. It was kind of like a match made in heaven, kind of the attitude and the toughness and the way the Ravens play the game. I mean, it was just perfect for a player like Anquan Boldin, because now you got to deal with Ray Lewis crazy ass on defense and Anquan Boldin crazy ass on offense. So good luck not getting laid out at some point during this game. Now the Ravens ran a different type of offense, and Anquan had a different type of role on this team. Because of that, during his 3 seasons in Baltimore, he never had a season over 1,000 yards. He got close, but never quite eclipsed it. But that was fine with Anquan, because by 2012, dude found himself back in the Super Bowl. But this time, he left nothing on the table and went for over 100 yards and a touchdown in that game. Most importantly though, dude became a Super Bowl champion. The next year, Anquan was traded again. A guy who never had a ton of speed to start with seemed to have lost another step, and the Ravens dealt him to the 49ers, who they just beat in the damn Super Bowl. There, Anquan teamed up with Colin Kaepernick and proved that he definitely was not over the hill, as in many ways he returned to form and had 2 more 1,000-yard seasons at this late stage in his career. He also made another deep playoff run with the 49ers, but was unable to get to his 3rd Super Bowl. After a 3-year stint in San Fran, Anquan played a year with the Lions and then signed with the Bills, but decided to retire only 2 weeks later. But I guess that's still better than how Vontae Davis did them boys when he decided to retire at halftime, bro. That's still so crazy to me. Quick plug, I did a whole video on that. Y'all should definitely check that out after this. Okay, you know how a player will sign a 1-year deal with the team that drafted him so he could retire as a member of that organization? Well, Anquan Boldin decided to sign a 1-day contract and retire as a Baltimore Raven. Now, I know he won a Super Bowl there. I get it. But I think that's enough proof to show that there was still some friction between him and the Cardinals organization. Like I said, him and Larry still cool to this day, but I don't think he ever forgave the Cardinals organization for trading him in the first place. So how good is Anquan Boldin? Check this out. Anquan Boldin has the 14th most receiving yards in NFL history. That's more than Ocho, more than AB, more than Hall of Famers like Art Monk, more than Megatron. Like, stop sleeping on Anquan, you feel me? Dude's also top 10 all time in receptions, coming in at a comfy number 9, right above Reggie Wayne and one spot below Terrell Owens. This is amazing company for a receiver that usually doesn't get talked about in that light, you know what I'm saying? Will he make it to the Hall of Fame? Probably not. Does he have a claim? For sure. And his old running mate Larry Fitzgerald, who's a surefire Hall of Famer, say Anquan should definitely be there. With that said, there's still great wide receivers who haven't gotten in yet, so if Anquan ever gets in, it'll probably be way down the line. A couple of things that play against him is he was never the best player at his position, really at any point in his career. Always one of the best, but never the best. He only made 3 Pro Bowls in a 14-year career, and he never made an All-Pro. So because of those things, I think that's going to play against him. Now, what he's got going for him, he had 7 seasons with over 1,000 yards. He made it to 2 Super Bowls, won 1, always balled out in the playoffs. And then all the reasons that they tried to hold against Terrell Owens with not letting him in first ballot, well, Anquan did all that stuff. He was a great team guy. He did all the dirty work. He was, you know what I'm saying? So if that stuff actually counts for anything, that should also help him out with his case down the line. Over 14 years, Anquan Boldin was as sturdy as they come, always reliable, and he always contributed to winning every single place he went. Off the field, dude was just as tenacious with his humanitarian work. Here's him and Fitz doing some work in Ethiopia. This is the same year Anquan will become a Super Bowl champ with the Ravens, so that's definitely some great karma. Anquan always said he was put here to do more than just play football, and he's continued to do community work in his retirement. Q was truly a one-of-a-kind player. His numbers are literally phenomenal, but with him, it was always about more than the stuff that went on the stat sheet. My name is FlemLo Raps. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget, click the thumbs up button, subscribe, and enable your notifications if you happen to be brand new. And I got a ton of these videos. We talking years worth, so you can click either one of these on the screen to continue watching. I'm gonna catch y'all next time.